Hey guys, it's me, your hostess Liberty, and we're back with some more The Roottree Are Dead. And last time, we finished The Roottree Are Dead. Hell yeah! We figured out who EC was. Yeah, that was quite a find. I found out a lot about the early year Rootrees and how terrible people they were. But now we're about to start with Roottree Mania. I don't know. I don't know what this will be about. Maybe we're trying to figure out who killed the Roottree family people, presidents. Because some of them were a little weird. But also Sam, who was the woman at the door, made a jest about there being more Roottrees randomly popping up. And that makes me think maybe there's a branch of the family that we never knew existed, and now we have to sort that shit out. But let's just dive on in. Unlock content. Make sure you've tied up any loose ends. Okay, I've done it. Save slot here. Let's go. Oh no. I can see the board. Uh-oh. Hi.
I'm Clark.
Oh.
Probably not who you expected to be knocking, but life's funny sometimes.
Aren't you supposed to be dead?
You've done well staying anonymous. It took us a while to track you down. A lot has happened in the last year. Far too much of it public. But there's stuff going on behind the scenes, too. I never wanted to be president. I'm not great with stress. And with my mother's deteriorating I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not here for sympathy. I'm here because part of the fallout of Sam's book is that everyone's coming out of the woodwork. Now that it's public knowledge the Clancy Trust covers any Roottree despite their history with us, a lot of potential cousins have surfaced. You may have seen that man on the cover of News Time. It was a disaster for us.
News Time is a new one. Lock that in your brain, Liberty. We've got to look that magazine up.
And then Miracle went and made it all about himself.
Of course he did.
The long and short of it is a lot of potential cousins just showed up. Sam's helping some of them.
Oh, God.
She's not really going about it the right way. And she's not taking calls from anyone in the family.
Look, I'm rich. I don't have to deal with this shit anymore.
I let it slip through a mutual friend that I found you, and I was stopping in. It's manipulative, but I'm hoping she'll reach out to you. You can let her know I'm on her side. In the meantime, if you're willing, I can share our files with you. Pass them along to Sam if she reaches out. I'm genuinely hoping she'll realize I'm an ally. Feel free to do your own research. I've been told you enjoy things like this. To each their own.
But no! Where's my periodicals? You can't do this to me! This upgrade includes thousands of bug fixes and enhancements. Your system should be more stable and smooth to operate. You're now ready for the Y2K. File names can now be up to 20 characters long. Putting a CD in the drive upside down will no longer heat the plastic to dangerous temperatures. That's nice. Cashew PCs are not safe for human consumption. Okay. Okay. I love that sound. Periodicals! News tree? Clancy Roottree. Okay, wait, was it called News Tree? Ah, no. No. News tea? Fuck. Oh. Okay. Clark Rafferty LaRue. Okay, current president. He's been trying to work with Sam. Like the case of the girl with negative DNA. Oh god. Okay. Oh my god, there's so much. Okay. Holy shit, we've got ourselves, where, yes. How's my journal looking? Oh, all new. All nice and new. Okay. Oh my, okay. Highlight any text in your web browser or evidence for a quick option to add it to your notes. Okay. The entire contents of your notepad are saved even if you quit the game. Okay. Siblings. Cousins. Second cousins. People that share the same great grandparents. Third cousins. Okay. Okay. Alright. The company I hired to help us with the Clansid Trust. Okay. I'm going to make... So this is just going to be notes of things to Google. Alright. Refresher. Clansid Trust. Okay. Pouring through the entire family's history as well as people they may have had contact with. That said, the family is not particularly happy with this and are doing their best to slow things down. Many of them are actively avoiding our interviews. Every time there's a high-profile public case, it causes headaches. So please, I don't mind if you do your research, but stop going to the press. Instead, we have a highly trained team of lawyers to back you up. We're ready and willing to verify anyone and everyone you believe could realistically be part of a relationship that led to the birth of a new root tree. Just tell us who to investigate by filling in the new sections of the tree. We'll take the time to handle verifying that the timeline checks out. Keep in mind why we're here. If someone doesn't have a child or has already been disqualified by our lawyers... So, lawyer disqualification... Okay. Refresher. Okay. Here we go. No, that's this one. Save that note. This one is notes. Okay. So, if no child or DQ'd by lawyers, no lawyers, no place for them on the tree. We're not just looking for affairs and infidelities, we're only looking for the ones that lead to potential new root trees. Only looking for children born of infidelity and AO affairs. So only looking for kids. Some spots in the new section will be marked with a tree icon. Trees are marked, are spots reserved for OG family tree. Just like the last time, be sure to use birth names. Use birth names for everyone you add. Married names and nicknames won't be enough. Married nicknames not enough. To start sorting out the infidelities, I recommend you turn your eyes to the men in positions of power. Look at men in positions of power. First, I'd love to say it's only because they wouldn't have had a lot harder for the women to hide 9 months of pregnancy without the family noticing, but I can't. Easier to hide births, but not impossible for the women either. I'll be blunt. I'm no stranger to infidelity. I wish I could claim that I was a perfect husband, but you've seen the family tree, so why pretend? Some of us learned how to wield our family name and fortune to our benefit. Consequences be damned. I can't change the past or unhurt those who I betrayed. Instead, all I can do is be honest with myself and to you. I refuse to make any more sorts of mistakes and do my best to sort out the various messes we've left behind. Fill in the tree, and together we can figure out how to make amends. Good luck, and thank you both. Okay. Good to keep that kind of information in hand. Okay. There's some things to Google. We'll get back to that. Okay, Clark. Thank you for the information. Oh, God. There's stuff in here that's... Alright. Things to Google. New investigation with a new focus after many months of newfound interest in the root trees. Try to catch up with some of what happened since last time. Some web searches may yield new or different results, and some books and magazines from your previous investigation may be relevant to your new one. It's much more widespread search. Yeah, the internet's really kicked off at this point in the storyline. The list of first and last names you can choose from will contain red herrings. Not all of them will be used. Good to know. So I will note that down. There are red herring names that won't be used in the list of names. Be warned. Okay. Good to know, actually. Very good to know. Below is a reminder of some of the notable beats of your initial dive into the Roottree family. All evidence from before is still available, and for your convenience, any searches that do not lead to new information still function as they did during your first investigation. The candy company was founded by Elias and Gwyneth. The entire family has a financial reliance on the health of that company. So, Roottree Candy Company. Cool. Most of the action took place in or around Butler Country, Pennsylvania. Okay. Butler Country. Alright. Elias, Raina, and Carl are on the cover of magazines. Oh, cool. It'll click right to it. Lauren, Miracle, and Jim at Physical Media. Okay. Lauren's 2 diaries were probably the most useful resources, mentioning many of her relatives. The 5 pieces, Elias's children, could be identified based on the initials of the original candy flavors. I remember that much. There were 5 presidents of the Roottree Company. Many were featured in periodicals. 5 presidents. There is a 6th one now. Stephanie Jones and Brian Jones were featured in campaign posters, led to Caroline Morden's art book, which enabled you to fill out more of the tree. Many of the younger root trees were found by following a complex rabbit hole through a conspiracy site that led to finding a searchable web address for Chris Rafferty, Lauren's grandson. November was really difficult to place. Her occupation could only be found via Brian Jones' company's website. Ronald and his brother Robert Roottree go by Ron and Robbie. Both work in a TV show called Brother Trouble until Robbie embezzled money and fled to Paris. Sam and her father were cryptically mentioned in a book about historical letters. There are also a few dead ends and red herrings. Aliosis was not a Roottree. Family Man, a book about Elias Roottree, turned out to be propaganda and not useful. Lauren's other books, historical romance novels, were not very useful on their own. Caroline Morder's sculptures were not useful. Okay. Fuck. Alright. Today is August the 3rd, 1999. It's been 8 months since you helped Sam Madsen with the research necessary for her book. Sam was true to her word and paid you an incredibly large sum of money. She never mentioned you by name, however, so you've managed to keep a low profile. The 5 Ps? Oh my god. The Rootttrees, on the other hand, have not. Below is a summary of notable events since the book's release, though you can refresh your memory in full detail. 6 pieces. Okay, so the book is called 6 Pieces. It's a bestseller for a few months. Carl has not been replaced, so Carl is currently the president. In March, the Roottree Company stumbled publicly as they attempted to respond to the book's release with multiple conflicting press releases and a clear lack of leadership. Clark Rafferty LaRue was announced as the permanent successor and welcomed Sam Madsen to the family officially. The company hired an outside legal group to handle the changes to the Clanset Trust. This included any new questions of lineage. After this announcement, there was a rash of different people claiming to be Rootttrees, mostly dismissed as opportunists and scammers. The highest profile of these by a wide margin was a rapper named Felix Fellows, who changed his moniker to 5Ps as a publicity move at the time. The only notable person on the updated tree. Another high profile misstep, Miracle Roottree publicly and vehemently denied that 5Ps was a Roottree. The legal team offered to do a DNA test to get 5Ps to drop his claim, and in a moment caught what seemed like the entire world by storm. The test proved he was a Roottree. Suddenly the world was obsessed with the Rootttrees. No! Okay. Felix is a Roottree. Alright, Felix. AKA 5Ps. Oh. Confirmed to be a Roottree. Via DNA testing. Alright. Anonymum and Jane Doe Roottree. In July, an anonymous woman, who the press began to refer to as Anonymum, appeared in interviews with her face and voice disguised. She claimed that an affair with a Roottree led to the birth of her daughter, Jane Doe. Okay. Anonymum. Claimed an affair with a Roottree and has a daughter known as Jane Doe Roottree. If true, this would make her daughter yet another secret Roottree and therefore entitled to a share of the clan's trust. Nobody knew it at the time that this would turn out to be the last chapter in the Roottree Mania saga. As more and more of Anonymous' story came out, people began to notice how much of it echoed 5Ps in nearly every significant way. Court of public opinion began to turn, conforming the world's suspicion. DNA test, orchestrated by lawyers on both sides, proved that her daughter was not a Roottree. The final event caused public disappointment, smugness from doubters, and countless accusations of the entire ordeal being an elaborate hoax or attempt at fraud. Things got a bit ugly, and the fun of Roottree Mania seemed to disappear overnight. Now, a month later, it feels like a distant memory. Okay. Let me... Oh! Clicked the wrong button. Let me edit this. Anonymum. DNA proved false. Okay. And I will call this disclaimed. No. What's the word? Brain, please. What is the word? When one proven not to be Roottree. Proven no? Okay. And proven yes. Proven to be Roottree. Okay. Alright. And this is Felix. What's his full name? Fellows. AKA 5Ps. Confirmed to be a Roottree via DNA. Okay. Awesome. So we've got a general notes to Google. We've got those who are proven and those are proven not. What's disprove? Disproven? Disproven. I guess. Disproven, because I also want to add a page for not yet proven. Okay. Not yet, proved, disproved, and not yet. Okay, so people still on the list of possibilities. Okay, and notes. All right, okay. All right, okay. Holy shit. Oh no. Oh dear. You can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. You'll have to be extra sleuthy this time around to deduce the truth. Pay close attention to what you find and be sure to look into loose ends. At least we have our dear rubber ducky here. We won't need him for this one because we have so much to look at already. Hey y'all, how you doing? Y'all good? Hell yeah. Okay. 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 Holy crap. So, no, that's not Clark. Okay, Clark, you are the guy who has taken over. You are now the dude man. The boss, the guy in charge. Okay, what's over here? Possible infidelity. Okay, there's a bunch of them. Okay. Let's see what our computer has in store. Wait, do we have any? Oh, we might have more. Nope, that's it. All right. Okay. Okay. News tree. I thought, okay. All right. Let's go. The first term. Immediately followed the announcement that a rapper going by 5Ps was actually a Roottree. Collectively, popular culture seemed to focus on the Roottree family and 5Ps for a few weeks before everything felt oversaturated and society moved on. Because of the 5Ps saga, an underlying through line to how pop culture treated the Roottree mania was an excuse for everyday people to claim they were also Rootrees. Daytime talk show hosts had I'm a Secret Roottree episodes. Late night hosts and guests made jokes about their other lost members of the family. There was a widely shared website where you could fill in your own name and find out if you were a secret Roottree. When you got submitted your name, it would simply say no with an image of Clark Lafferty Rowe giving the finger. Yeah, you do it, buddy. Roottree Mania lasted only a few weeks, just long enough for the 6 pieces to re-enter the charts and to trigger new printings of other Roottree related media. That included Lauren's Diaries, VHS releases of Gwyn's old movies, as well as countless other unauthorized biographies, which mostly seemed to attempt to capitalize the Roottree sisters Carl and Brenda. These re-releases were too late to successfully capitalize on or extend the craze. As a result, most of them were failures, and countless novelty shirts that had variations of I'm a Secret Roottree became immediately unfashionable, though some people still wear them ironically. Okay. Which means we're going to have to look up a bunch of stuff, aren't we? Okay. Business Watch. Give me Clancy. Okay. Okay. Clancy is not getting anything, despite the fact that he is now the dude. Okay. Let's go Roottree Mania. Okay, nothing in Team Blast. You'd expect that though. You'd expect it to have something, right? Okay. I'm just checking. Okay. 5Ps. Team Blast. Go. Popular and attractive enough that even though his music is not targeted towards teen girls, they seem to be paying attention anyways. While he hasn't done any interviews with the magazine, they've listed him amongst the hunky hotties for the past few months with small bios that tell you various facts about him. His real name, David. His birthday, okay. Okay, highlight. Nope, copy that. Alright. Alright, more information about Felix. We'll just make that Felix. Okay, 5 Ps. Alright. Confirmed. We don't really need to say confirmed, do we? Because this is the proven confirmation line. Okay. Real name is David. Birthday, February 9, 1997. Star sign Aquarius, and he grew up in foster care in Portland. Okay, cool. Good to know. A letter to the editor also claims that it's not possible that he was born in 1977, as he claimed on a song called 17 Magazine that he turned 17 in 1992. The editor responds with a statement that they've researched out his agent to ask about the song and were told it wasn't performed by 5Ps and they shouldn't print rumours. Okay. Possible lie about age may be... Okay, so if you turn 17 in 1992, then that would be 82, 80, 75. Instead. Okay. We'll check that out though. Alright, Modern Music Monthly should have him in there. No? What about the song 17 Magazine? Wait. Wait, back. Forward. 17 Magazine. Alright, let's go here and look for 17 Magazine. Sometimes referred to as magazines. So it might not have shown up because of that. Title of an unreleased and controversial song by Dirty Davy. Oh, his name's David. There's mentions of it on a few sites claiming that it was the first release of his first mixtape but was removed. There's no audio or visual evidence of it existing, but there are independent accounts from people who have claimed to have heard it. They do generally line up. According to the recollection, it was about many different loosely connected occurrences of the number 17, mostly violent. Written on his 17th birthday, it involved a fictional but glorified series of murders at a fashion show for a teenage magazine with a similar name to the title song. The person during the violence was apparently trying to beat Dharma's high score. Okay. Due to major acts of gun violence in schools earlier this year, and the subsequent backlash against violent music and video games, it is generally considered in very poor taste to bring it up. Most of the people that enjoy mentioning it online are either trolls trying to shock people or come from the morbidly curious corners of the internet. Okay, let's look up 17 Magazine. 5Ps. Davy. What was it? What was it called? Dirty Davy. Okay. Dirty. Okay. Fine. Let's look up Modern Music Monthly. Nope. Okay. 17 magazines. Interesting, but we're not getting information here. Dirty Davy. There's mentions of it. A teen magazine with a similar name to the song title. Interesting, but not something that really... Okay, I'm going to put this under his... Okay, information. I'm going to be a bit more careful with including stuff. Possibly a song by him. Not showing on periodicals. Okay. Dirty Davy. Okay. Let us look up Dirty Davy here. According to fan sites, Felix Fellows is not Five Pieces' actually name. His birth name is David Fellows. Dirty Davy was Five Pieces' previous stage name. He used to sell records and perform live shows in Portland under that name. There are some people selling old mixtapes on auction sites. One is currently called Dirty Devil, another Dirt Poor. Firstly, let's go Portland. Okay, go back then. Let us get Dirt Poor. Dirt Poor was a mixtape by Dirty Davy released in 1996. There's a lot of online discourse from people who like to point out that in one of the songs, he includes someone that would be revealed to be his own distant cousin Raina in a list of attractive women. Yeesh. I mean, he didn't know, right? The lyrics to one of the songs, Heat, mentions a few different prominent female actresses, models, and musicians from the 90s and provides a crude pun or line about what Fellows felt about them. When re-released in 99, much of the rhetoric was toned down to be less overtly profane, and the line referencing Raina was clumsily replaced by Dana, a reference to a character from the X-Files. Okay. Interesting. Heat. Okay. Let me check the periodicals. Heat. Okay. Dirty Devil. Nope. Okay. First mixtape released as Dirty Davy from the early 90s. There's discrepancies and debates about what year exactly it was released based on some of the pop culture references, with the range thought to be somewhere between 92 and 94. One of the songs, Yes I Can Jump, seems to be at the center of the confusion. Some fan sites claim that there are multiple versions with different track lists and song lengths on them, though because it's very little evidence of the mixtape online, it's hard to verify that information. A song that was on Five Pieces' Dirty Davy album, it seems to be the only song that didn't make it into a studio album that people thought should have. In it, he references a popular movie, White Men Can't Jump. Oh. This reference has... I know that movie. I'm old. Has caused some confusion amongst the fan base. Because of it, it is agreed upon that the mixtape had to come out in 92 at the earliest. Okay, that's fair. But others point out that Fellows references seeing the movie on his 17th birthday. That would have been in 94. Some take this to mean that the album had to have been released in 94 at the earliest. Others claim that he was likely just trying to make himself sound older, since in response to some of the more questionable lyrics, he stated multiple times that he was just a dumb kid when it was released. Okay, alright. I need to say something. I don't know if it's the same for other writers of songs and music and poetry and shit like that. Sometimes you just make shit up. Sometimes you just make shit up. As somebody who wrote a lot of poetry and lyrics and shit like that as a teen and a little older, sometimes it may be your emotions and shit, but sometimes you just make shit up because it sounds good or it reflects how you're feeling at the time. It gives off a certain imagery. It doesn't have to be, this is exactly the thing, right? It doesn't have to be like, okay, he was referencing White Men Don't Jump. Fine. And that came out at a certain period of time. Okay, that's fine. So sometime after 92, he wrote that, obviously, because it was a reference to it. He could just make up his age in a song. If the song is referencing him having a birthday at a certain time, he could have just made that up because he wanted to feel younger than he was, or because it rhymed better, or because it hit a better flow to say 1994 instead of 1993. You know? You're allowed to make shit up. If you're putting dates in songs, don't take it so seriously. Okay, let's see if we can find Yes I Can Jump in here. No. So all of this has not been really useful, has it? It's just a lot of stuff. So we're not sure when his birthday is. Like, he references seeing the movie on his 17th birthday. Okay. He could have seen it a bit later on, you know? 2 years later. It's not that serious, bros. Okay. Was there something else I wanted to see? Felix Fellows is actually named David Fellows. So we'll look that up in a second. Okay, let's look it up in the periodicals, right? David Fellows, modern music. Nothing relevant? Teen Blast? Okay, let's go Felix. Alright. Popular and attractive enough? Okay, yeah, okay. What about Modern Music Monthly? Nothing in there. Okay, let's try 5Ps. Okay. Alright. Okay. It was performed by 5Ps. But the thing is, he could still just have been making it up. He could have been making himself out to be older than he actually was to appeal to an audience that was a bit older in age than he is. Come on. Yo, crazy. Okay, did I look in here for, okay, let's look at, 5Ps. Okay. Alright. Oh god, there's a hell of a lot here. Let us just put in, edit note. Okay, real name, David Fellows. His birthday, or 1975. Star sign Aquarius, where he grew up. Possibly a song by him. 16 magazines. it is a song by him as Dirty Davy. Not in periodicals. Okay. Good. Okay. Alright, 5Ps. Felix Fellows is a rapper who's found some recent radio play after being publicly confirmed as a long-lost Roottree, entitled to part of their fortune. His alias 5Ps is a play on 5 Pieces, an article you find on a website known for their particularly harsh reviews of modern music, gave his most recent album, Root of All Evil, 1 star. Ooh. Jesus, that's mean. Out of 7, for whatever reason. With the headline, More Poser Than My Action Figure Collection. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, that's mean. Mentions his real name is David and he used to go by Dirty Davy. Rues the fact that this rebranding was a blatant marketing stunt at the expense of his mother's tragic past. Oh. Apparently only one of the songs in an album is new and the others simply rewritten to turn blatant references to sex, drugs and violence into clumsy euphemisms. His rise to prominence was kickstarted by News Time. Motherfuckers. Okay, I'll visit you in a minute. His rise to prominence was kickstarted when he appeared a few months ago on the cover of News Time holding a photo of his mother with Guy Hudson. At first the Roottree company denied it vehemently. Okay, so Guy Hudson might be his dad. Miracle even appeared in the same magazine a week later. But since then, they've backtracked and publicly welcomed him to the family. Their press release at the time stated that they had new evidence that confirmed his story. Yeah, DNA. It don't lie. So I guess he is Hudson's kid, huh? Okay. So, new magazine, News Time. And that's 5Ps? Okay, here we go, good. Felix Fellows famously appeared on the cover of News Time, kicking off Retromania, Roottree Mania. A week later, Miracle Roottree appeared on the cover of the magazine in an article that focused heavily on 5Ps as well. A summary of both articles as well as a close-up of the photo 5Ps is holding in on... Okay. Awesome. So... Not that one. 17? Not that one. $75. Yeah, this one. This is probably... Oh, I hate this. Oh, I hate this a lot. David. Fellows. Musician? I guess. Or singer? Not musician. Okay. The rapper 5Ps appeared on the cover of News Time holding this Polaroid of his mother, Joanna, when she was Zach Morden's secretary. He claims that Joanna and Guy Hudson, also in the photo, were having an affair that led to his birth. Roottree family picnic. Is she cute? No wonder. Okay, so he claims that Guy... he was the president. Third president, I think? Right. Guy was the third president, yes. Okay. He claims that Guy was his dad. Okay. This is our boy, Felix Fellows. Alright, guy. I mean, dude. Okay. 5Ps. Felix Fellows appeared on the cover of News Time holding a photo of his mother and Guy Hudson. Concerns insistence that his father was Guy Hudson. The story was dramatic and sensational. Initially dismissed as fake until a DNA test proved that he was related to Guy Hudson. How related is the question? Because you can be related and still not be his son, right? His mother, Joanna, was Zach Morden's secretary. He could be Zach's son when he retired, and then Guy Hudson's secretary for only 1 or 2 weeks after that before she quit. The first few weeks that he was president. His parents divorced when he was 4, after his father learned of the affair. Felix and his mother then moved to Portland because she was afraid for her and her son's life. Grew up with her until he was 16, but one day his mother never came home from the movie rental store when she worked the register. He found her dead from an overdose in her car. She had stolen all the cash from her drawer and spent it on heroin. Damn. Felix went through her belongings. The only things he had to remember her by were a hairbrush she always used, some photos, and a stuffed animal from her childhood. Back then he found it, a box hidden in the back of her closet. Oh, wait a minute. Could it be that maybe they checked her DNA and she was actually related? That would be fucked. Inside were love letters and photos related to Guy Hudson, as well as a letter from his father containing threats. He threw it all away with the exception of one photo he appears with on the cover of News Time. He says it was the only one where they were dressed, the only one not from the affair itself. The picture is shown full inside the magazine. Magazine also includes some additional history about 5P's career. He was born to Riley and Joanna Fellows, but he never rapped without a moniker. Riley and Joanna. Okay. Riley Fellows. Oh. Joanna Fellows. And that was her. And then that's him. His name is David. Fellows. And he is a musician. Okay. Oh my god, Guy, how many did you have? Guy, my dude. Dude, man. What the... Holy shit, Guy. I thought there were just the 2. No. No, there's not just the 2. Guy, dude, what the hell? Okay. Additional history. He tried to find success by opening for other artists, and even by selling CDs on street corners in Portland. He's only recently started going out as 5Ps to harness the power of his lineage. Fair. The writer did some research into the truth of these claims and was able to confirm that Joanna did work for the Roottree Company as a secretary sometime during the early to mid-70s. She died of a drug overdose, and that Felix went into foster care soon after. They were unable to track down his father. They also reached out to Roottree Company, but at the moment the company's blanket statement was silence. Since the release of a recent book, Roottree has seen an overwhelming number of false ancestral claims. None have been factual, and nearly all have been knowingly dishonest. We encourage individuals to reach out to us in an official capacity as opposed to attempting to use our name for media publicity. Okay. Well. Hot damn. Alright. We have a new picture of Miracle. Who is in your... Who's in your glasses, Miracle? Miracle Roottree appeared on the cover of News Time shortly after 5Ps did. He vehemently denied that 5Ps was a Roottree. The article was from before the DNA test that proved he was. Miracle doesn't focus much on the details of his accusations regarding his mother and Guy Hudson. He comes across as exhausted at the events that have been going on behind the scenes, as well as the character of those he fears are attacking his family. He starts with 6 pieces content. He says that although most of the book was based in fact, it left out anything that wouldn't fit the agenda. He points out that Sam's daughter still earns a generous salary for overseeing the farm division of Roottree, and that Sam did the same before her. Yeah. Sam's family was not destitute, and that really it was only her son who chose to take on a job with no salary. Go fuck yourself, buddy. He claims that though they didn't have to, the family helped pay for their son's medical bills after voting that it was the right thing to do. Miracle also says that the story about his yeah, but they shouldn't have had to vote. He should have had the right to have them pay for his bills like they did for every other kid in the family. That's the whole thing. Okay, sorry. Got angry at that. Miracle also says that the story about his father shunning EC was one-sided, leaving out Edward Clancy's blame in the whole thing. Elias gave him a simple ultimatum: stop sinning or be disowned. Miracle says it was EC's own choice, and that Elias allowing him to earn food and shelter in the company's time was a kindness, especially considering that he and John continued to live together. Go fuck yourself, buddy. He then pivots to the fallout from 6 pieces. He recounts a deluge of claims to the Clanset Trust that the family have been subjected to. He doesn't cite any specifics, but says that every time someone comes forward, the family devolves to arguments. They've had to hire an outside legal team to help, but so far every case has been demonstrably, laughably false. All they do is tarnish his family's reputation. He calls 5Ps a grifter and delinquent, and says he's using the name and products to sell filth to the masses. Of all the accusations, he says the most dangerous because it exposes the world to hatred. He cites 5Ps' lyrics as violent, sexist, and ungodly, and prays the boy will repent, retract his lies, and find religion. He turns to the future, stating that those that wish to hear the true story can join him on his farewell tour in this upcoming fall. The Miracles Roottree are planning on touring the country's churches one last time. Now at the age of 71, Miracle is the oldest living Roottree. While he plans to continue preaching at his own church in Butler County after the tour, this is your last chance to hear the truth from the man with the most complete recollection, one of America's most notable families. The article mentions that Miracle's son, Miracle Jr., did not wish to comment, and has a statement from Clark Rafferty LaRue. Miracle does not speak for his entire family. We are working carefully on a plan to definitively disprove any claims of infidelity in our family's past. Or prove them. Disprove. Yeah. The article also does not refute Miracle's claim that he is the oldest living Roottree, despite Sam Madsen being born the year before him. It was unclear if Miracle made the claim out of ignorance or spite. It could just be him feeling that he is the oldest because he's old as fuck and a piece of shit. But you know. Okay. So he is probably on here somewhere, right? I wouldn't be fucking surprised if he was. Because we've got a photo of him and it won't fit up there anywhere. So it must be somewhere down here. He's old as fuck, so it might be one of the early ones. Maybe? Maybe? Possibly. 49. Oh, he's 71. It's 99. 70... 71... Oh. Yeah, because he's got a few years behind him. It- he wasn't having an infidelity as soon as he was born. Okay. 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 Yep. That makes sense. Okay. Calm down, Liberty. Oh. Oh? Oh. Okay. All right. Holy shit. Okay. Felix. Mother died of overdose. Father ran off after truth of infidelity came out. There we go. All right. Oh Jesus. How about we dive more into Miracle, huh? Miracle Roottree. Okay. All right. How about Business Watch? Nothing relevant? Oh, he did say Butler Country Times. This page has been updated at least 8 months. Hasn't been updated. Legal troubles, 3 generations. They're going on tour to leave their legal troubles behind. Okay. Three Generations of Miracles tour. Okay, let's have a look at Miracle Senior. There is an older version of this page. We'll look at that in a sec. Is going on a new tour of the United States in late 99. The previous flyer has been replaced. Be part of history. The oldest living Roottree reprises and retells his incredible true story. Grew up as one of the famous 5 pieces, living a life of wealth and luxury, but fortune was nothing compared to the powerful force of the Almighty. Doctors determined he was destined to die young, but fate had different plans. He's lived a long and fruitful life. However, he's now in his 70s, and his age is beginning to make life on the road much more difficult. So consider this your last chance to see him in a town near you before he settles back down in Pennsylvania. In this intimate evening, Miracle will reminisce about his famous history. He'll discover his discuss his family's saints and sinners, and prove a unique perspective on one of the most notable families in the United States. Learn what originally drove him away from his fortune and into the arms of religion. Learn how his life has become more wealthy in spirit than it ever could have been from his inheritance. Also lists the churches he'll be appearing in and mentions the tickets can be purchased, noticeably absent. Okay, let's show the older one. Okay, okay, alright. Alright. Okay. So, cool. Okay, news time. Let's see. Major news periodical that releases a new issue every week. Rapper 5Ps famously appeared on the cover claiming to be a Roottree. Miracle Roottree did the same, denying that he was because of his high-profile back-to-back discourse right from the start of Roottree Mania. They appeared to be the de facto publication to get news about the ongoing Roottree saga. Subscriber numbers during this time, which lasted until the end when the world generally stopped paying much attention and went back to using more news. Okay. Well, we've made a start on the new. We're still trying to get in there and figure shit out. but we've put up a few names, a few possibilities. Holy crap. There's a lot to sort through. A lot of stuff that's going to be a lot of retreading old ground will probably happen too. Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of situation. Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to check to see if any of this had changed. Right, girl. The Notorious Montjoys. Mystery Comics, Tales of Suspense. Oh. Okay, I'm just checking stuff. Not there. I wanted to check the desk. Oh, okay. That's music. Alright. What do we got? Anything new? Family Doku? Okay. Okay. Alright. Well, I think we're going to end that here for the day. Diving back in is is going to be a blast. There's a lot to uncover, a lot to look at, and my friend was not wrong when he said there's so much more. Oh boy. And from the looks of the systems and that, it's going to be a little bit more difficult considering we have to find first and last names. Yikes. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you would like to play the game for yourself, you can find a link in the description below. Until then, have a good day, take care, I'll catch you in the next one, and I'll see you later, guys. Bye!